Kelsey. I live in Washington, D.C., and I've been using the method since the beginning of 2020, so almost a year now. And so far, it's been a really great experience for me. I've really enjoyed everything I've learned through the method and the community that's there. I think before I joined the method, I was really clouded in what I considered healthy. I was confused on how do I, treat myself right? How do I support myself and my body and my health? I just wasn't really sure what to do or how to make the best decisions for me. And now afterwards, I have used the method as my foundation. I always kind of come back to what we've learned in the method in order to help me make my decisions. It's always kind of in the back of my mind of like, all right, foundational five, like how do I make sure I have the nutrients to give myself the energy and space that I need in order to show up as the best version of myself. And that is really where I feel like I've found the most growth is being able to show up as the best version of myself every single day. And that's something that the method has really given me as a place to start and grow that I did not have before.
Amazing. So, Kelsey, I would love to hear your story. So, let's say you can go back to a time before 2020, before you joined the method. When it came to consistently eating well on a daily basis, what was the biggest challenge or even frustration or block that you were struggling with before taking the method? Like, what made you want to join the method?
Well, I was definitely the type of person who was a perfectionist in everything, and especially with eating and food, and definitely on the stop start cycle and feeling like I needed to always kind of restart and jump on that bandwagon again. And especially, I don't know if it's the Instagram or advent of just like social media, but there's so much wellness content kind of thrown at you. And I felt like I had all this different information and had no idea how to utilize it without feeling like I need to be doing this perfectly.
Yeah.
And if I'm not doing it perfectly, then it's not worth it. So I definitely had that blockage of like, how do I create a sustainable way to nourish myself and create a healthy lifestyle with all this different information out there? And how can I actually make this something that I can actually live with and stick with over a long period of time? And that's something I struggled with for, I don't know, ever.
Yeah.
I feel like I've felt that way since, I was a teenager. I'm 31 now, and I feel like that's something that I really struggled with for most of my life is how do I nourish myself and take care of my body in a way that's actually sustainable for the long term. So that's really where I started the beginning of this year, and serendipitously, I joined in January, and then obviously the pandemic hit a couple months later. But it allowed me to really focus in on myself and where I wanted to be. So that's how kind of where I started, where I was like, at the beginning of this year, I really need to focus on myself and my health. And that's ended up why I joined the method in the first place.
Mm. Kelsey, thank you so much for sharing that. I think that that will resonate with so many people, and obviously you're in the community, and there are so many other method members who have had that mentality, and especially as you said, that all or nothing or that like black and white, all in, all out mentality is so common. So I think having, like you said, having that motivation and that intention of having something that's more sustainable for you that can really work with your body, work with your lifestyle is incredible. And I'm so happy that you're with us. I would also love to ask you, like when you think about that time as well, when you think about those challenges, and as you said, you were kind of dealing with that since your teens into your 30s. How was that impacting the way that you were showing up in your life back then? Like, were there any specific emotions or like physical sensations or even like mentally that it made you feel before joining the method?
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy because I think, on this journey throughout this year, I didn't realize how consuming eating was in my life, and food, and I was thinking about it all the time. Like, everything was kind of, okay, where am I going to eat? What is that meal going to be like? Is it healthy? Is it unhealthy? Is it a good or a bad food? Um, how can I get back on the wagon? Oh, I've fallen off the wagon. Therefore, I'm going to eat a whole pizza tonight. Like, it was, it consumed so much of my mental energy, was just thinking about how am I going to eat? What's the right way to eat? How do I make, how do I get into the best physical shape that I needed to be? So it really used so much of my emotional and mental energy thinking about it, and I didn't even realize it until I
Mm,
started really kind of digging in and using the method and journaling. And it was um it's been a really freeing experience to be like, oh, I don't have to spend so much time and energy anymore thinking about food. So I mean, like I said, I didn't realize how much it was consuming me, but it was consuming me almost all the time, thinking about all this stuff and trying to do the right thing and trying to be this perfectionist. I'm going to only
mm,
eat the best foods. And that would, and like I said, I was on the stop start cycle. So I would feel like I'm eating really well and working out and doing all this stuff for maybe a week. And then I would fall off the wagon and feel like would, um, I would get down on myself and have anxiety and feel, kind of just beat myself up for not being perfect with
mm.
food. And so it really, like I said, I didn't realize how much it really was affecting me until I kind of took this journey and can look back now and be like, whoa, so much has
Yeah.
changed.
That is so amazing to share, Kelsey. Thank you so much for sharing that. And again, I always sound like a broken record, but you're so not alone with that mentality. And I think there's so much growth that you've already had, which is really exciting to think about and potentially, hopefully, for you to reflect on. But to have that self awareness to even realize, like as you said, that you didn't even know. I think so many of us too will have like our normal habits. We talk a lot about this in the method, but those normal things that we do every day that make up
Hmm.
our life. And we think, oh, that feels good until we give ourselves a new way of doing something or more space to create that freedom and trust within yourself so that you can, yeah, like be freed up. So I loved that. That really resonated with me because I feel like you and I are similar on that wavelength with all or nothing. And
Hmm.
yeah, I just really appreciate you sharing that. And I'm so also more so happy that you have a little bit more freedom and space and you feel a little bit more confident with those choices too.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm in law school, and I work part-time, I have an internship, I'm taking 5 classes, and I need all the energy and mental space I can get because I have a lot of responsibilities.
Absolutely. I love that you brought that up. Absolutely. And I think, like, as you said, you never realized how much energy and emotions and probably even physical energy was going into what do I eat? Is this wrong
Yes.
or right? What's good for me? Is this good or bad? It's just so much consumption of information and questioning oneself. But to take that power back and to, like you said, really utilize the energy that you want and other areas of your life that also are beautiful for your
Yes.
well-being, like your career and family and friends and community. So I love that you brought that up. To Kelsey, when you think about the past, so let's say, you had mentioned that you were feeling these types of challenges in your teens up until your 30s. What types of things had you tried in the past prior to the method, and why didn't they work for you?
I tried everything. I was looking for a solution, I was looking for something that would it's like, just give me here are the 10 steps I need to follow. Give me every just, the 30-day plans, the 6-week plans. I mean, there's so much information out there and there's so much kind of buzzwords, especially on Instagram and social media of like keto and paleo and vegan and Whole 30 and all the just so many different types of kind of different diets and lifestyles and ways to eat. And I feel like I tried them all
Yeah.
and looked into them all and I read them all and followed people that said like, oh, this is the thing, this will make your life so much better, this will help you lose all the weight that you want and make you the healthiest you've ever been. And I absolutely felt like I tried them all. And because it felt like, oh, if I could just follow this plan, if I have this 30-day plan that I can just follow, that really fulfilled my perfectionist tendencies of like, perfect, I will just follow this plan to the T and I won't have to worry about anything else. Um, but it was way too hard. It was none of those plans were sustainable for a real lifestyle. It was really hard to even go grocery shopping. I felt like I had a lot of extra food. I was spending a lot of money. I never stuck with the 30-day or 6 week or 2 month, whatever it was, plans. I always fell off the wagon and wasn't able to make them sustainable.
Mhm.
So I tried pretty much everything before the
Yeah.
method.
Yeah, Kelsey, when you had opened up the conversation, you mentioned the start stop cycle, which we teach about in the method, and also just to the nutrition strip community because it's so common and so prevalent and so powerful. It's so powerful,
Hmm.
that cycle. So to break free from it as you did and to have that space and that freedom. And also, even after years of guinea pigging, hopefully also picking up some things that you know for sure didn't work for you. And also,
Yeah.
it sounds like to solidifying more of what you wanted and your desire to have that sustainable approach, to have that balance and the freedom versus feeling like it was kind of honing in on maybe parts of you that you didn't maybe want to hone in on, like perfectionism, feeling that regulation, so to speak, versus feeling a little bit more freed up. So that's
Yeah.
such a
And I
great
think I
share.
realized, yeah, and I think I realized that the the best thing to listen to, the best plan to listen to is me and my own body and what do I feel like I need in order to be operate at my best, that I feel my best and my healthiest. And no one externally, no company or person is really going to be able to give me just a, here is a plan for you, without knowing me personally, or I am the best person to figure out what is the healthiest for me. And no kind of external um, person or plan is going to be able to fulfill the needs that I need.
Hmm. That is a powerful statement and phrase too. And I think on the note of powerful, it's also incredibly empowering for you to, like I said, kind of take that, kind of reclaim that for yourself to say, you know what, I am my best advocate and I know what my unique body needs. And
Hmm.
and this kind of goes into my next question for you as well. But we teach so many tools within the method as a way to really help you feel more confident and trusting and empowered for yourself to be able to make those decisions, right? Because even as a dietitian and teacher in the method program, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm kind of giving you those tools to help you understand that. So
Yeah.
you really are embodying that empowerment level because that's like the golden nugget so that you can go on to life and actually apply it and live with it. When you so going on to my next question, I'm curious, what was your biggest when you got in the method program and you were doing the work, what was the biggest learning experience or like aha moment that really shifted you from going from where you were prior to starting the method to feeling like you are now?
The method is so different than any of the other kind of checkbox systems that I've tried in the past. So it was definitely an aha moment that I was like, oh, this is not going to be some sort of, I do this for 30 days and now my life is completely different. It was a much more subtle internal shift, um, that I think maybe 4 to 6 months in, that I kind of reflected back and I was like, oh, I'm feeling differently. And I think one of the best things was checking in with myself. You in the method where you teach about having these check-ins about how are you feeling hunger wise, how are you feeling energy wise on a scale of 1 to 10, and I would journal about that, and I could reflect back at the end of the week and see, oh well, I didn't eat breakfast that morning, and then of course by noon or even by 3 o'clock, even if I had lunch, I was feeling a kind of dip in energy, and I was like, well, maybe I need to make sure I'm actually feeding my body. And so learning how to turn in internally, kind of like I was saying before, like I am my best advocate. I know what's best for me. And turning these cues inward, really getting in touch with my own body, my own energy. How am I feeling as far as, just joy levels, happiness levels, do I have the mental clarity and energy to do what I want to do? That was the biggest change for me, is really learning and using what you teach to get in touch with myself and not have somebody else tell me what I should be feeling or what I should be doing. Like I was able to really tune in to that, which I had never really been able to do before.
Mm. That is a huge win. I'm over here smiling, obviously, as you can see, but that's such a huge win. And I am just so proud of you for getting that to that point where you are, you gathered the knowledge from the method program, you took the tools that really worked for you, you tried them out, you made them your own, so like you were saying, I teach the check-in process as part of the method program, but that could look like a mental check-in, it could look like journaling, it could be putting it in your phone, checking it on a daily basis, 3 times a day, weekly. So it's really great that you made that your own and it had a great impact. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, because it sounds like that was one of the tools that really, really resonated with you. So Kelsey, how do you feel? Let's say fast forward a little bit, because I know I've been asking a lot of questions before the method, but in this moment too, how do you feel now that you have the skills that you've gained throughout the method program that you're using on a daily basis or even weekly basis with like reflections? But how do you feel now in a nutshell?
I mean, I just feel so much better. I really feel like I am at this point in my life the healthiest that I've ever been. And I used to define health by the number on the scale or how I looked, like my weight. And that is not how I define it anymore at all. It's, do I have the mental clarity? Do I have the energy to be my show up in the best way that I can every single day? Can I fulfill the goals that I want to have every single day? Can I work towards, creating a better world for myself and my friends and my family and for everybody? And I feel like I am so much more in tune with what I need to nourish myself, both externally, how does my body look and feel, but also like internally, of giving myself the time to really recharge and show up in a way in the world that I've always wanted to show up, but I didn't realize that I could achieve that by by just like be like looking inside of myself and being in tune with myself. Um, so I mean, the over the course of this year, like so much has changed as far as how I view my health, how I want to take care of myself. It's much more holistic. Um,
Mm.
like I said before, it was so much more on external factors, and now I looking at myself as a whole human being, my health as both physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all of it. And that's never something I've done before with myself or my health.
Mm. That is incredible, Kelsey. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wow, what a transformation too. And again, like you had said, not to timestamp this video, but you've been in it for, going on 10, 11 months. So it's to have that transformation and that practice over time is so powerful, and it's definitely achievable and possible. What would you potentially say to a friend, a family member, or someone in the community who wants to join but may be a little hesitant, or like you or earlier, Kelsey, who tried all the things and was disappointed? What would you say to them?
I would say, just give it a shot and go in with a completely open mind because it's going to be absolutely different than anything you've tried before. It's going to be different than all the different diets and plans because it's not a diet or a plan. It's a foundation for your life and it's a way to be thinking about your health in a holistic manner. And the changes that you're going to notice is not going to be, oh, after 2 weeks everything is completely different or I've lost a bunch of weight. It's going to be so much more of an internal subtle shift in how you think about your life and your health that happens over, a longer period of time than just 30 days. So I mean, I would encourage anyone to give it a shot and really go in with an open mind of this could change how you think about your life and your health and give you so much more mental space and emotional energy to do whatever you want to do in life.
Hmm. Wow, Kelsey, thank you so much for sharing that.
I just want to say thanks. I mean, this has really been a huge journey for me, and this has given me a lot of things to, even just being able to talk to you right now has given me a lot of time to reflect. I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
what has changed from January? And it's so much has changed since
Yeah.
January, and I really just appreciate everything that you've done and given me as far as being able to like move forward with like who I want to be, and
Mm.
it's been a great experience.
Oh, Kelsey, I'm so grateful. I really am so grateful and humbled and appreciative that, you chose Nutrition Stripped and the method to support you. And I always say that I'm just a vessel, and I just am trying to get that education out and help other people. So you did all that work. So I'm so proud of you, and it's so great to hear your transformation and your story. Of course, there's more stories to come, more transformations to come. So, yeah, I just thank you so much.